Hello, magical people. Hope you guys are all doing very well. My name is Meg Moonbeam, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to get into our astrology horoscope for Wednesday, November 19th, going into Friday, November 21st. Holy crap. There's a lot going on astrologically in the collective. For each of us, let me know how everybody is doing out there. New Moon Creatrix, hello, says, hey, did you guys see that Congress voted to release the Epstein files? Yes, they did. New Moon in Scorpio. And will Trump sign it? That is now the question. That is what this new moon in Scorpio is going to reveal. Will the government do what they promised they were going to do, US government, or no, for whatever reason, whether that's from good intention, nefarious intention? The energy of right now is saying these truths are going to come out, whether the government wants them to or not. So I'm very, very excited. Miss Invisible says, politician in Belgium being exposed with stealing money. Interesting. I haven't heard about that, Miss Invisible. Please let me know in the comments who that is. So yeah, lots going on, you guys. We're going to get into it. And please remember to like this video. I'd really appreciate your support in doing that. Subscribe to my channel. Consider leaving a comment below to help with the channel's growth. I am very grateful for everybody's support here on my independent channels and my work that I do. And also check out my 2026 astrology webinar for all 12 signs happening 4 days in a kind of a row. There's going to be a 1-day break in the middle on Saturday, December 6th, but December 4th, 5th, 7th, and 8th, my annual webinar for in-depth predictions and forecasting for each of the sun, moon, and rising signs for 2026. So if you'd like to get full details on that and sign up, you can do that at my website, megmoonbeam.com. Link is below, and currently have a 10% off discount code 2026, just the numbers 2026, to get 10% off from now until November 30th. This new moon in Scorpio is not playing around. Can you guys feel it? Can you guys feel it? You guys and gals. So exact new moon time is actually on November 20th, 1:47 a.m. Eastern time. So correct that to your specific time zone. For many of us, it will be the middle of the night this evening. For myself and everybody else that's over in Europe, it will be really early in the morning, and other parts in the world, it will be completely other times. So adjust that, 1:47 a.m. Eastern. And as I said, this new moon in Scorpio, this is not playing around at all. And not only is it a new moon in Scorpio, Mercury Cazimi tomorrow on Thursday. This is fucking crazy. Okay, excuse my language, but the astrology of from now going into Friday, this is a freaking trip. New moon in Scorpio, conjunct Mercury. It's a Mercury Cazimi, Mercury opposite Uranus, Mercury trine Neptune. And if that's not enough for you guys, Uranus sextile Neptune exact tomorrow. This is a lot to unpack. And then on Friday, Sun opposite Uranus and Sun trine Neptune. Wow. Okay. Yes, Chrissy, you took the words out of my mouth. Chrissy says, it is wild astrology with all that Scorpio. Yes. Yes. Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, all in Scorpio. Dispositor Mars in Sagittarius, that lifts things up a bit. It's not a negative energy right now. We've got this beautiful grand water trine with Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, the Sun, the Moon, and Mercury, Mars in Sagittarius, the other ruler, Pluto, in Aquarius, sextile the new moon, in trine to Uranus. So in trine, sorry, sextile to Neptune and Saturn. So this is like we are being so supported right now in this ascension process, in our transformations. All we have to do is surrender. And as a Scorpio sun with my Pluto in Scorpio, I can say, one of the biggest challenges for a Scorpio is to just surrender. And that saying is coming to mind, let go and let God. So new moons typically are time of setting new intentions, starting something new, 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 new. But it's a new moon with Mercury Cazimi, Mercury retrograde. So this actually isn't a new moon to like start a new business or start this completely whole new different thing that we just came up with now, even though Mercury's retrograde. No. Wow. As I'm speaking, you guys, we're having like a crazy storm over here in Belgium where I'm at. This new moon is tying loose ends. The intention of tying loose ends and getting really real with yourself about what is coming up for you at this time. What do you need to surrender to? What do you need to let go and let God? Where are you trying to be over controlling? How is your shadow side expressing? What are your desires? What are your shadow desires? Where are you acting out? Where are you being sketchy? Right? Is it in a relationship? Is it in your own self-care? Is it you're not in alignment with your truth? You're not speaking truth? Scorpio is getting real of like what's really going on here. So we're all going through that personally. And it's very intense. We're being supported by this grand water trine. So there's actually blessings, Jupiter, and stability, Saturn, when we just surrender and let go and let God. Right? And then also the collective is going through this Scorpio purging. We are seeing that, of course, the US House and Senate just voted on the release of the Epstein files. Okay, positive. But Scorpio also teaches us you can't just, it's the hidden motives. It's what's behind the curtain. It's seeing beyond. Right? So what's the play here? Is Trump going to really sign on it? Are they going to try to do something weird? I really feel like, and I know I've said this many times, and I'm actually going to do an astrology of Epstein and the Epstein files, probably coming out this weekend. So stay tuned for that, you guys, because there's a lot for me to unpack. I'm going to look at the astrology of Epstein, the files, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Massie, Donald Trump with Epstein. A lot there. So stay tuned for that. Whether the powers that be put out the list, it's coming out one way or another. It is coming out one way or another. If these files come out and they are redacted and we don't have names, it's going to come out. It'll be independent journalists. It'll be some sort of leak. It's coming out. Whether it's this week, next week, a month, it's happening. This is such a powerful portal and trigger point right now that anything being done right now is going to be revealed. And there are shocks, Uranus opposition, right? So I don't think we've gotten that full shock yet. We're still not at the exact new moon time. So it'll be interesting to see how Thursday and Friday play out. I love that even though we have this Mercury cazimi in an opposition to Uranus, which is unstable, weird, rocky ground, shocks and surprises, Mercury is going to exactly trine Neptune tomorrow. So that is the opposite of lies. That is divine truths coming to light. This next few days is all about truths, surrender, getting real with yourself. Chrissy says, Mars and Sag, cutting away old beliefs. Totally. Yeah. And I've been, during this Mercury retrograde, and actually Mercury retrograde entered Scorpio yesterday. I've been reviewing, Mercury retrograde is about reviewing. I've been looking back at my research on Epstein, and I watched with my husband Jens a new documentary on Epstein. And this Mercury retrograde, I've been spending a lot of time on this case and reviewing it, and I've been reminded of how serious this is, how dark this is. It's easy to say, oh, he was a PEDO or he was a SEX trafficker, and to use the words, but to actually hear the victim stories that this was a serial abuser and trafficked people serially. This needs to come to light. There's no excuse for us at this time for this to not come to light. So I know I keep saying that. I will keep saying that. This is a part of our healing stepping into 2026, 2027, the amazing astrology we're stepping into, the age of Aquarius. We have to face these shadows. Sarah says 100%, and that is connected to so much horrific nonsense across the world. Totally. Definitely. So I have this feeling like somebody already has the list. I actually want to pull cards on that. I'm getting this sense somebody already has the list that is not in the government. There's people that already have the list that are waiting to see, is the government going to do it or am I going to have to do it? I just want to pull a card on that. What is the likelihood of this list being released from fully? I'm actually going to ask first from the Trump administration. The true list, the true files. Interesting. Okay. Possibility, King of Swords. He does have to do with truth and information, discernment. Okay, so I feel like there are people in the Trump administration that want to do it. It is a possibility. Now I'm going to ask, are there people that are not in the government that have the list that are thinking about whether or not, and I feel like journalists, independent journalists, where are they at? Is that accurate? Are there people like that? Interesting. This is the having a break for 8 of Swords reversed. 2 swords. So I feel like, yes, people that maybe were once afraid, and I'm just getting this sense, honestly, that somebody or a bunch of people already have this fucking list, excuse my language, that is not the government. And they've been scared, and it is scary because we're dealing with occultists, we're dealing with very dark people, right? Dark and powerful people. But interesting that it's 8 of Swords reversed. They're kind of at the point where it's like, okay, might have to do this now. So they're going beyond the fear. Yeah, I want to see action, and I know a lot of you guys do too. Anna, I am with you. Anna says, time for us to not rely on the government. I am with you. Yes, we want action. We want action. And we will know with this Scorpio portal right now, and also even though we're in a Mercury retrograde, okay, with this Mercury Kazemi and all this, we will know if something is amiss. We will know if there's redactions, if something is not totally accurate, we will know as a collective. Elegant Witchery says, MTG has been pushing for the list. She rocks. She says it like it is, and I respect that. I respect that too. For sure. So big energy, you guys. Secrets and truths being revealed for each of us personally. Shadow work, but we're being blessed when we surrender to that. When we surrender with what needs to be shifted. And it's also happening in the collective. And exact Uranus sextile Neptune on Thursday, and we're in the energy of it. So we had a Uranus sextile Neptune in September. I think we're actually going to have this aspect 4 or 5 times over the next couple years. And this is beautiful. 2 of the outer planets in exact aspect. This is very, very rare. Uranus, the future, liberation, also has to do with freedom and truth. Neptune, spirituality, spiritual support, miracles. So this is go time. This is get your shit together. Okay. Get in alignment. Get in alignment. Get even more in. How can you be even more in alignment? Dreams are very important. Your personal intuition is very important. Us being more empowered into our own psychic abilities, higher consciousness, cosmic consciousness. This is a lot. So please take care of yourselves, you guys. Scorpio also deals with cleansing and detoxification. So on the medical astrology level, I'm sorry to be graphic, but Jens and I, we've been going to the bathroom like all day. Maybe some of you guys are having that too. Like we may be needing to go to the bathroom more. You need to drink really good water. You need to be work physically cleansing. Scorpio is the real deal physical cleanse and excretion of toxins as well. I'm actually doing a physical cleanse at this time. Started yesterday, and it feels really good with us at the end of this Scorpio season, new moon in Scorpio. Let it all out. We are going through a collective exorcism big time, and we are being very spiritually supported. And if you fight it, that's when it's going to be hard. Sherry says, I literally was going to say letting go of real shit. Have a colonic. Get to the bottom of things. Yeah, Scorpio rules colonics. It rules the genitals. It rules all that stuff that has to do with the bathroom. Wolf Mother says, oh my gosh, I've been peeing like crazy lately. Yeah. This is just about getting honest with ourselves, getting honest with ourselves, paying attention to what's coming up and acting accordingly. For sure. Moon ingresses into Sagittarius on Thursday after we have that new moon. And that new moon is at 28 degrees at Cancer degree. And I said it in my new moon in Scorpio video last weekend. I think we're going to see women speaking out on what's been done to them. And before the vote happened in the House and the Senate in the US, we had survivors come out and speak in Washington, Epstein survivors, on what they've been through. Cancer degree in Scorpio. This is Virginia Giuffre's, I think, brother speaking. Virginia Giuffre, of course, who committed suicide, supposedly. Let's listen to what he had to say yesterday in Washington.
At just 16 years old, she took a job at Mar-a-Lago, believing she had secured a dream summer position. But that dream quickly morphed into a nightmare when Ghislaine Maxwell preyed upon her innocence. This isn't just the story of one girl. It's a story about the insidious nature of power and abuse, a dark chapter in our society that must be told. Virginia was no stranger to trauma. In her memoir, Nobody's Girl, she shares the painful truth that she had already suffered abuse at the hands of our father and a family friend. But what happened next was unfathomable. Epstein and Maxwell didn't just abuse her, they trafficked her to a network of the rich and powerful. Princes, prime ministers, politicians, financiers, and lawyers. These men committed unspeakable acts against her will, and against the will of countless survivors who stand united with us today.
Wow. Very powerful stuff, you guys. And Jens and I, we watched this documentary. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting what it was called, but I hadn't realized until yesterday the extent to what Virginia Giuffre went through. She was for years living with Jeffrey and Ghislaine, being abused every single day and trafficked. This is what these survivors have gone through. I can't believe they're even still standing. They're so strong. It's just wild. Moonlit Lioness says, this is on Financial Axis. You see anything in regards to that? Yeah, I talked about in my new moon in Scorpio video that I put out on Sunday, talked about, it's Scorpio is the financial axis, Uranus in Taurus and in opposition to this new moon. Have your resources in good places, you guys, because over the next 6 months, we're likely to have possibly and I don't want this to happen, but just saying, there could be a financial crash. There could be a cryptocurrency that goes completely down. There's going to be instability in the financial markets, definitely over the next 6 months, from this new moon in Scorpio to our next full moon in Scorpio in May. So I'm not a financial advisor, but have your assets in places that make sense and are actually of a physical value. That's what I would suggest.
At just 16 years old.
Marjorie Taylor Greene yesterday. This is her. Actually, there's a couple things I want to share from her. Her saying, I only take people's actions seriously, no longer words, after Trump has, totally poo-pooed all over her. I don't even know how many names he's called her. He did a total flip-flop on her. Let's take a listen to what she said.
Congresswoman Greene, you raised the question of whether or not the Justice Department will actually release these files, and that these files will actually be released.
I really take people's actions seriously. No longer words.
And what do you think the president's
And I'll tell you, because I wasn't a Johnny come lately to the MAGA train. I was day one 2015, and there's a big difference in those Americans and those that decided to support President Trump later on. And I'll tell you right now, this has been one of the most destructive things to MAGA, is watching the man that we supported early on, 3 elections, for people that stood hours, slept in their cars to go to rallies, have fought for truth and transparency, and to hold what we consider a corrupt government accountable. Watching this actually turn into a fight has ripped MAGA apart.
Yep. It's a death, Scorpio, the death of MAGA. Right? It is the death of what has been MAGA up until this point. It has been the death of what Trump has been up until this point and that administration. We're talking about survivors, victims of a international sex trafficking ring, them speaking out, the main woman in the US government supporting them speaking out, then being put down by a powerful man. Not a good look. Could be something more going on behind the scenes. Anything is possible, but I don't think it's a good look. And I think it's brought a lot of destruction to, MAGA. And it's going to be very different moving forward. Going to be very interesting to see what happens. And we've got Pam Bondi, a Scorpio woman, right? Epstein file bill grants Attorney General Pam Bondi the authority to withhold or redact any material that could endanger national security or jeopardize an active federal investigation. So this is a really make it or break it time, where we're going to be shown who people really are, where they're really at, and this is a time for action. Right? I'm not going to play too many other victim videos at this time because I don't want to be too triggering to anybody out there, because it is a really heavy subject. But yeah. Six Fairy Light says, I love me some Trump, but he's been making some very questionable decisions. Six Fairy Lights, I'm with you. I have a lot of respect for Trump. I do not hate Trump, but when certain things are said, when certain things are done, I definitely question things and don't just believe things that may be a theory about somebody. We need to see the action now. We really need to see the action. We've had enough talk. I don't know about you guys, but I have had enough talk. And to call MTG and Thomas Massey names, acting like a child when they're standing up for survivors. Don't know if anybody of you know anybody personally that's been a survivor of something like that. I have. Your life is never the same. And I'm not talking about me personally, but I've worked with clients that are like that. I know friends that have gone through that. I can't imagine what they must be feeling right now, seeing certain words being said about these survivors, about the whole Epstein file movement. It's just, it's just nuts. So let's pull some cards and see what is our guidance for these next few days. A lot being revealed to each of us personally and in the collective, and discernment is very important. We're taking our power back. Age of Aquarius and Pluto in Aquarius. And it's no longer about waiting for a savior in the government. We've gone through that over and over and over again, right? Okay. The sun. We've got the sun. Mercury Cazimi to the sun. Interesting. The Eight of Swords again, and the King of Cups with the Chariot. Wow. I just get this overwhelming sense, like, whether the darkness likes it or not, whether or not our personal shadow side and darkness and the collective shadow side and darkness likes it or not, we're moving ahead. We are moving full steam ahead. This is happening. It is all going to come out. Whether it's today, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's freaking next month, whether it's next year, we're moving ahead. No more secrets, no more lies. The sun. Maybe do some sun gazing in the morning or the evening. This is a very powerful time to be working with the sun. And there's a Mercury Cazimi to the sun with this new moon. So for those of you who don't know, Cazimis are when a planet is in exact conjunction to the sun, and we receive major downloads and truths about whatever area of life is ruled by the planet. So Mercury is truth and common sense, right? So things coming to light. Things coming to light. It is moving forward fearlessly. The darkness is coming to light. And we're getting this message again around, unnecessary fears, self-sabotage. Where are you holding yourself back? Where are you holding yourself back? Is there an area? Is there someone around you that's really struggling? We can be there for them. We don't need to take on their suffering for them, right? Being very mindful of our boundaries, what we're taking on. Hey, Murdoch. Yeah, Murdoch says, bring it on. And King of Cups, this, the grand water trine, there's beautiful blessings. There's blessings when we just surrender to what is romance, beauty, intuitive gifts, love. It's intense and it's beautiful. It's dark and it's light. The Lovers. Scorpio also deals with sex and intimacy and love and loving on a deep level, right? So it's also a beautiful time for intimacy, getting real in our committed relationships, contracts, obligations, going to the next level of that. Such amazing times. Anne says, just had a great reading with Meg. Highly recommend. Oh, thank you so much, Anne. So nice to see you today. Hello, Jill. Nice to see you too. Lots of familiar faces in the comments. Oh, I meant to say Knight of Cups. Sorry, you guys. Thank you, Jenny. Mercury retrograde. Okay, you guys. It's a lot out there, so please take care of yourselves. Drink really good water. Maybe take a salt bath. Don't overpack your schedule right now. Mercury retrograde. This is a time to make time for rest, recuperation, right? Hey, Margie. And if you'd like to have a personal reading with me, check out my offerings links. Those are all in the description box below. 2026 webinar for all 12 signs, astrology predictions, is available at my website, megmoonbeam.com. And discount code 2026 can be used until the end of the month to get 10% off. And we're going to have so much fun. I'm really excited. I've been preparing for this, and holy cow, 2026 is freaking crazy. You guys, your minds are going to be blown when I talk about the 2026 astrology. So definitely something you're not going to want to miss if you want to be prepared astrologically for the year ahead. And yeah, feel like I'm forgetting something, but if I am, I'll tell you guys. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Also, very excited to have a special guest. I'm going to be doing more interviews on my channel. I'll always do the astrology. I'll always do what I'm presently doing, but I'm also going to incorporate some new stuff. So I've got some pretty cool, interesting interviews in the pipeline. If there's anybody that you guys want me to interview, put it in the comments below. Tomorrow, Thursday, November 20th, I think it's going to be at 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to do a live interview with Ethan Lucas. Sure, some of you guys have maybe heard about him before. Fellow truther, fellow freedom fighter, and CEO of Sorona. We're going to talk about what Sorona is, nanotechnology, cleansing, parasites, all kinds of stuff. So going to be a really cool interview I'm looking forward to doing with Ethan tomorrow. I'll be back with you guys for the next astrology horoscope on Friday. And again, yeah, I'll probably do an in-depth Epstein files, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Massey, Trump, all that stuff expose this weekend. So stay tuned for that. I love you all so much. Have a magical new moon in Scorpio, Uranus, sextile Neptune, Mercury, Cazimi, and I'll see you all on the other side. Bye.